will come up.
Famous musicians like us. Well, we're internet
Really
famous.
famous.
Yeah, we're internet famous today. But Joseph is Joseph Martin. He is from my old hometown of Queens, where the QZ at, and now he also has a podcast. It's Famous Musicians.
That's right.
And where do we find that?
It will Google Play or any podcast streaming service, iTunes, anything.
iTunes,
it's on all that business.
Stitcher, stuff like that.
Yes,
Right, so
exactly.
It's famous Musicians.
If you just type Famous Musicians Podcast, it will come up.
Famous musicians like us. Well, we're internet
Really
famous.
famous.
Yeah, we're internet. We're internet. Internet famous today. But Joseph is he's music director at Parish in Long Island. Keyboard player, and you do some other ventures, and you have an eclectic array of musical interests.
That's a good way to describe it. Yes.
Yeah, and but we were talking about volunteer choirs, and
yes.
Yeah, and you're talking about how you're saying some cognitive dissonance with like professional folks. Professional folks who've gone to school, maybe they have student loans after they graduate. Like, they learn all this music theory stuff, and they want to be compensated for their time and their practice and their profession. And then they're the folks that do this for fun. But sometimes we do this for fun, and maybe we didn't have the opportunity, right, to do all that fun training stuff. And so we were talking about ways that we could build that up. And so, and you said something like my name come up, I guess.
Yes, because I had mentioned to another music director organist about how upset I was that no one makes a conscious effort to every summer or something just dedicate a week, 2 weeks or whatever to just attempting to get volunteer choristers to sight read. And has anyone done this? Is there any other people that are doing this? And your name came out because you had a fine example of that.
Yeah. And one of my other colleagues did this too, who's in the Brooklyn diocese as well.
Right.
And shout out. He's another EB. If he's watching this, he knows, and that was where I got my inspiration from. And then he pointed me in the direction of what texts like books to use. And there's a resource, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but I do have it somewhere at home. And so when I get back to NJ, I can certainly get in touch, and I'll post the link in the description box when I update that. But what I did was I took a month and I did 2 sessions a week, and I invited anybody from the parish and anybody from the surrounding areas. I put it out using social media. This was back in 2012, like even before there was such a thing as Snapchat, or before I knew there was a thing as Snapchat, and before I was like really getting into the social media influencer thing. And so what I did was like I told people anybody who wanted to come could come at all levels, and we used the text. And looking back, I mean, there's a couple things that I would have done a little differently, but what was interesting was like there were folks that had a very limited command of English that were so interested in learning to read music that they came and they struggled through it, but they were so enthusiastic. And so like this is something that really appeals to folks, and if you do it, you could even charge a little bit to get folks to come out. But I just thought this was like, the fact that my colleague had done this was the inspiration for it. But I was amazed, and I learned so much because I learned just about how we conceive of math, because music is all math. As far as I'm concerned, I think music is all math. Right. And like in teaching music theory and note values, just how much of, an interest there was in this, but just how much too, like the way that folks understood music was like, wow, this says a lot about the way that we conceive of math too. But that was like my discovery of it. But I would say like that's something that we could do to improve the way that folks, sing in choirs. Do something like that. But I would say when you do it, you may not get a lot of interest from the folks in your own parish, but open it up to, that way it'll be worth your time to go out, rather than doing this for like 3 or 4 people, and then if one person doesn't show up, and then you have 2 people, and then you cut out Tuesday night, and then nobody shows up. So like, my arm is getting tired. So, hashtag vlogger problems. But yeah, like I would say, maybe to do it, open it up to the region, see if maybe there's another person. If I was going to do this differently, I would maybe see if another person in the field wanted to collaborate. Okay. See if somebody else wanted to do it as well, so that maybe you could take turns. But you went to Queens College, right? Yeah. Okay, and so did I. And so, like, you remember how, so you had to learn movable do? Yes. Yeah, and so, like, there was some of the stuff that I did in the beginning was just I had I don't know if you had small do for 4 semesters. I had small do for 4 semesters.
I had small do for one of the theory things.
He used to open every class with like a bunch of solfege things, and so like that was how I would open up every class I did with like a solfege exercise, like a domi. So like just triads and supplement a scale and triads, and I also integrated the Kodai things. I'm not like integrate like Kodai because I thought that was kind of interesting. To kind of integrate that as well. But I would see if there's somebody you can collaborate with, so that maybe you have the same structure for every workshop, but maybe it's somebody different, so that you don't burn out either.
Yeah.
And that way you draw more people too.
Right.
So,
there could be people coming just for the other one. Who knows? Right.
Who knows?
Right.
But yeah, so that's that. Really great. Thank you for being part of this vlog, Joe Martin. And be sure to check out. You have a YouTube channel. You have 2 YouTube channels.
That's right.
All right, cool. So I can link. I'll link some of those.
Oh,
I'll link all your stuff below. But check out Joe Martin. And then if you like the vlog like this or a video like this, be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell so you get notifications. Give a thumbs up. Share with all your friends. Or if you don't like this type of stuff, then don't share with your friends. Share with your friend. Share with your pastor, your people, your homies, your parole agent, your social secretary, your mom, your kids, your turtles. I like turtles. That's why. # I like turtles. But anyway, thanks for watching, and we hope that maybe we'll run into you at NPM41. Bye!